Greetings. Welcome to the Equity.Guru Investor Roundtable. In general, they're referred to as basic materials companies, but let's not fool anybody. Have you seen these guys? They're gold junkies. That's right, gold junkies. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, but with a little bit of a twist. We're talking about Japan Gold, Irving Resources, and BeMetals. BeMetals, BeMetals. I'm Rob. That's Galen in the basement. That's Frozen Man in the corner, and that is Michelle in his actual gold vault upstairs. I'll give you the address. Is it in Surrey, Burnaby?
I'm in Surrey. Yeah.
Surrey.
I probably shouldn't have disclosed that though.
Yeah, I was just
keep myself. So, yeah, I'm not in Surrey. I'm in Richmond.
People can come by. You can show them your stuff. Yeah. Japan Gold is JG on the venture exchange under John Proust. They're in Vancouver. In fact, all three companies are based in Vancouver. Irving Resources is under a female CEO named Ms. Akiko Levinson. And that is IRV, IRV on the Canadian exchange. And then finally, BeMetals is BMET, BMET,
yep,
on the venture exchange under John Wilton. We're talking about a range of 25 million to 68 million in terms of market caps. And the man who did the write-up on the site, which is right over there, or maybe it's right over there,
no, it's right above you.
Is the guy right above me. He wrote it. It's over there. He's up there.
Yes.
Michelle.
For sure, Rob. So I wanted to change things up a bit. Japan and resources, not something that you talk about in a single sentence most of the time, but believe it or not, Japan has quite the rich gold mining history for a nation that we know lacks, natural resources. If you look at gold, this mine will always show up, and it is the Hishikari mine, which is Japan's only single gold producing mine that is in operation today, owned by Sumitomo Metal Mining. However, as you can see from their report here, it boasts a grade of 20 grams per ton gold. Earlier reports were bringing out 30 to 40 grams per ton gold, which makes this mine in Japan one of the best gold mines in the world, if you compare it to the grades of major gold mines in the world, which is around 3 to 5 grams per ton. So I think this is something that not many people talk about, and rightly so, I guess. You don't really think about Japan and resources, but things are changing. If you look at all three of these companies, they all have assets in Japan, and they're doing so now because back in the day, a few decades ago, the yen was too high. It was very expensive to do business in Japan. Gold prices were low. So, when Japan was booming, there wasn't much money going into exploration. Recently, the yen has gone a bit cheaper, but the government now is a bit more open and is allowing permits to come, foreign permits to come into Japan and do some exploration. So you have this first world country, good jurisdiction with a potential untapped gold resource. And read my article about all the geology, because it deals with, volcanoes and hot springs. A lot of places where gold, is found, and Japan has a lot of them. So all three of these companies, as I said, focusing in Japan. But what I want you guys to all remember, because again, these are junior companies, so a lot of risk, but I'm going to mention some names, which, I'm sure all of you guys will know when it comes to gold. We're talking about Newmont Mining, Barrick Gold, and B2Gold. So big majors are also now looking at Japan. If we start off here with Japan Gold, these are the guys who actually got the first foreign license to do exploration in the country of Japan. And they have actually a strategic alliance with big major Barrick Gold. Japan Gold owns 31 exploration projects, and 29 of those are part of the Barrick Alliance, where Barrick is basically, doing funding and doing drilling and doing, investigation, right? They're not drilling all of these projects, but they're doing their analysis and investigation to all these projects. But that means, Japan Gold has a partner, which we know is very important when it comes to junior gold. And the last two projects that they have are actually optioned off to Newmont Mining, who are doing some evaluation for those projects and have a lot of rights basically to do something if something major is found. And Newmont Mining actually owns 20% of Japan Gold. So, big majors with this company doing some research. And upcoming at the end of August, we're going to hear from Barrick Gold with their second evaluation phase. So this is a roadmap of what Barrick Gold and Japan Gold are doing. And we're here at the initial evaluation phase. But you'll see here, Barrick will sole fund a 3-year second evaluation phase on projects which meet Barrick criteria. So exciting things there at Japan Gold. Then we move on to Irving Resources, and this one's a bit different where they're focusing on assets which have a specific type of ore which can be basically smelted in base material smelters. So we're talking about copper, nickel, that kind of stuff. And, I won't bore you with the geology and the science here. Go check out the article. But basically, we're talking about, reducing environmental waste and costs. That's sort of the big thing here. So they're approaching some of the resources in Japan entirely differently. They have assets in Hokkaido and also in Kyushu, but the ones in Hokkaido, I guess, Sapporo and the beer, right? That's what comes to mind. They have the Omu project, which just 4 days ago, they put out some drill results, really good high-grade vein results. And we'll take a look at the charts later because the market actually really liked this. So keep that in mind. This is the company that has the most recent, I guess you can say, catalyst. And of course, in the future, we're looking for more drilling and exploration coming out from Irving Resources. And they also have a partner with Newmont Mining, who owned about 19%. Let me just double check here because I don't want to give you guys the wrong number, but if I remember, it is in either the high 20s or the 19%. So Newmont Mining owns, my bad, 14%. Good thing I did take a look at the numbers. So Newmont Mining, 14% of Irving Resources. Again, big major, looking at what's in Japan. BeMetals, a bit different. They don't just have assets in Japan. They also have assets in Canada and in Zambia. Not just gold, we're looking at copper and zinc as well, but I want to focus, of course, on the Japanese assets. And they're a bit more earlier stage. They have assets, 5 projects in Hokkaido and Kyushu, and they actually partnered with B2 Gold, who are also a major producer. All of these major producers, we're talking about a market cap of billions of dollars, and they're working with information that they have received from a previous Japanese mining agency. So they're hoping that they find something big in the next exploration phase. And right now, as I said, a lot of these big majors looking at Japan, potential untapped natural resources, or gold in this case, sorry. And it looks exciting because there hasn't been much exploration done. And things are sort of heating up again now because, of course, Japan's been very strict on entry recently due to COVID, but they're finally sort of relaxing now. And you can see all the press releases from all 3 of these companies basically saying, okay, we're getting exciting because we can finally go back and get some things done.
By the way, the nice thing about all of this is Japan Gold, JG on the venture, and BeMetals, BMET on the venture, and Irving Resources, IRV on the Canadian exchange. I guess it doesn't really matter where the gold's coming from, does it, Galen? If it's there, it's there. You can get it in Timbuktu or you can get it in Japan as long as it's paying the bills and you're finding something, right?
No, absolutely. I mean, there are logistical problems in operating internationally because you're always going through a third party, as it were, or at least an extension of your own company. The neat thing about the ones that we've been talking about is that they've been partnering up with very large majors, and these majors have been the one that are actually doing the evaluation work. For instance,
and they're in a safe place.
Yes, that's absolutely. They're in a safe place.
Gun wise, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Barrick is doing all the evaluation work for their partnership with Japan Gold. Newmont is taking care of their section, and so basically, these guys are sort of de-risking themselves by allowing the big kids to take a whack at it. And there's lots of institutional money in these companies.
Yep.
And then, as Vishal had mentioned earlier, also direct investment from these majors into these companies because everybody wants to get their hands on a little bit more gold. Japan has historically been a good producer, although it's been under the radar because everybody figures it's a natural resource scarce country. And for the most part, that is correct. It imports a lot of materials, but gold and minerals doesn't happen to be one of them because it's basically just a large epithermal vent.
Yeah, exactly.
So these companies are taking advantage of that. Historically produced a lot of gold in high grams per ton ratios. They've had 5+ million ounce mines in operation in the country, and it's a lot left to be tapped. Admittedly, the ground is a little hard to get at, but not necessarily too horrible, and they can get in there. They do have to follow environmental regulations because they're pretty close quartered with civilization on these islands. They're not exactly off in the middle of nowhere per se. They still have to deal with the fact that there is urbanization relatively near, and they don't necessarily want a tailings dam breaking and pulling an imperial mines. So there's those considerations. Gold has taken a bit of a hit right now. It's around $1,700 an ounce. It's still profitable to produce in a mining terms, but these are things that you may want to take into consideration when you're looking at investing in early stage companies such as these, because yes, there is a lot of risk. Admittedly, they're on good property. It's a whole new territory. Japan opened its doors in 2012 and made it a lot easier for these companies to come in and actually get mining permits and have sort of paved the way for a mining-friendly jurisdictional plate. These people can go in and have easy access to the government and also relatively easy access to permitting. So we'll see where these go. I like Japan because it seems to be the one that's exposed to the most potential and has the biggest cooperation by larger corporations or larger miners. Not that the other two aren't something that you don't want to look at, but for me, Japan is what kind of caught my eye when I took a look at these companies. So there you go for me.
Very nice. And Michelle, you ate into your own chart time. So whoop-de-doo, here we go. It's Japan Gold, Irving Resources, and BeMetals.
Very quickly, I'll keep this nice and sweet. Japan Gold, of course, keep in mind a lot of these stocks are getting hit with the broader market sell-off here. Japan Gold, it's reaching this very important support zone close to the 20 cent zone, a level which has held since 2019. So I'm going to be watching this one here just because I want to see the buyers step in. But of course, there is that major catalyst upcoming in August with Barrick sort of evaluating for the second evaluation there. So that could be the major catalyst ahead. Quickly on BeMetals, again, another one that's going downhill. Major support here at 12.5 cents. And we've been ranging here now for a couple of weeks, actually, almost a month, to be honest, with the ICC price action here going back to June 10th. So major catalyst perhaps is what's required for a breakout here on BeMetals. Irving Resources, a bit different in terms of, yes, we are at a major support. However, a lot of my technical indicators are telling me that perhaps there's a bit of a reversal here, breaking above my moving average. And now I'm looking at the 19 cents level. And I talked about that big press release about potential high grade drill holes. Well, the market really liked it because the day after, on July 8th, we had a 13% pop, strong green candles. So I think this is one that I find interesting in terms of technicals right now with the fundamentals and a good looking chart.
That brings us around to the do-si-do dance. And Galen gets to go first. $7,500 for each of you. We know what the frozen man in the corner is doing. He's spending all of it, which we love. So he's sending $2,500 each way. That's $7,500. Galen.
Well, I know that the person above me is rather gregarious, especially when he isn't present. But I am actually a little more cautious.
Yep.
I like these companies. I think there's an interesting story to them, but quite honestly, you're going to be surprised by this. I'm not going to put anything in yet. I want to see a little bit in the form of actual exploration taking place. Evaluation's great. Closeology's fine. And all the other things that are going on, institutional money, absolutely wonderful. But I want to see somebody actually pick a rock up and go, yeah, we've got something here. So when that starts happening, I'll get in. I'll try to get in as early as I can, but I want to see something a little more than what I see right now. So it's 0 for me.
Okay. So you're going to split the difference, Vishal, or what are you doing?
I sort of share the same outlook here with Galen, and my thing is, it's not just like the major, I guess you could say, news or drill results coming out, but I just think gold might have a bit lower to go, and I think that means that some of these stocks will be, unfortunately, perhaps breaking a bit of support levels here. Irving is the one that I think is the most interesting to me, but there's still a trigger that I require for me to actually enter. But in terms of the overall market, I think if gold does drop a bit lower, these companies will, unfortunately, perhaps drop and follow along with it. But Japan Gold and Irving Resources are the top two that I really do like, again, with the corporate backing. And I'm going to keep them close on my radar. Irving Resources is the one that I might act on sooner rather than later, but it still has a trigger above $1.19 that I want to see break out before I can confirm a reversal. And I think if that happens, I would be putting about $2K in Irving Resources, but nothing else as of now, just a wait and see approach. And hopefully gold proves me wrong and we bottom and go higher instead.
So nothing to do with the calendar. Literally could be August, September, October. You're waiting for that mark, right?
Unfortunately, yeah, there might just be a bit more downside on gold before we begin to see a reversal.
Whirls back up. All right, there you have it. So just the guy that's really not here giving away all his money. But we always do that. We always do that because we're always shooting for the bell.
I don't know. I think he's Elon or something.
Yes. Oh,
he'll pull out at the last second, though.
I have almost sent you so many copies of tweets about that guy and the Twitter thing.
This is really funny. He says that we should actually have our head 3 inches or 5 centimeters above a pillow. He's supposed to be an engineer.
What?
5 centimeters is less than 2 inches.
But
apparently they're the same for him. So I guess having $1 billion means you don't have to have a calculator anymore or actually use your brain. So there you go.
Mean, like hover your head above your pillow? Is that what it's talking about?
No, on an incline or some stupid. He's just trying to say shit to sort of just say stuff. He's a dork. Anyway.
All right, well, you don't have to necessarily listen to Elon, and you don't have to listen to us either because we can't guarantee the results. You have to do your own homework here. On Japan Gold, JG on the Venture Exchange, John Proust is the CEO in Vancouver, $50 million market cap. Also on the venture is BeMetals, BeMetals. The symbol is BMET or BMET on the venture. John Wilton is the boss man in Vancouver. They have about a $25 million market cap. And at $68 million on the market cap front is the leader of these three out of Vancouver also. Ms. Akiko Levinson is the CEO of Irving Resources. Again, we can't promise you anything from what we've said, and past performance does not guarantee future results. So please do your own homework, and please join us on the very next Equity Guru Investor Roundtable.